Every time you touch a screen, you leave behind an invisible exhaust, a continuous stream of behavioral microtraces extracted below the threshold of your perception. We treat digital platforms as communication tools. They operate as something entirely different, a numerical big other. We assume these systems are reading our posts, analyzing our words, and interpreting our conscious meaning. They do not. They rely almost exclusively on statistical inference, identifying correlations in the noise without understanding a single word of the language. To understand this, we look to the topological model of Jacques Lacan. The diagram on his chalkboard divides human experience into 3 registers. The symbolic order is the realm of language. Beneath that is the real, raw drives resisting language entirely. Modern algorithmic systems capture us by targeting that exact unnameable space. They bypass language to extract the real via preconscious traces called actomes. They use this data to shatter our identity into a fragmented state known as a dividual. And finally, they manage our desires by feeding us a highly polished digital reflection, the avatar. Contemporary digital psychopolitics does not persuade you with arguments. It enacts a structural, topological capture of your unconscious mind. There is a temporal gap in human cognition. It takes about 300 milliseconds for your brain to consciously process a stimulus. Algorithmic systems operate inside this exact window, the missing half second before your conscious reflection can intervene. Within that void, the algorithm harvests the actome. These are the fragmented microtraces of your behavior, the exact latency of your click, the speed of your scrolling, and the duration your thumb hovers. We split our interaction into 2 tracks. The top is conscious logical time, the delayed process of understanding. The bottom track is pure automated reflex. Actomes belong here. Harvested as raw binary syntax before your mind has time to attach any meaning. By capturing these asemantic data points, the algorithm establishes a precise, calculable digital unconscious. It identifies the exact mechanics of your impulses, independent of the conscious narrative you tell yourself. To make sense of chaotic microtraces, machine learning relies on VC dimension. It measures a predictive model's capacity to classify data. The algorithm uses this to shatter your raw behavioral points, forcing unreflective impulses into a rigid, finite-dimensional framework the machine can read. The system bypasses your capacity for understanding. It ignores what you say, instead harvesting the raw residue of your physical impulses to preempt choices before you make them. The technical engine that processes this data relies on vectorization. Computer science evolved from word-to-vec to world-to-vec, a paradigm translating complex human behavior into a discrete mathematical space. You enter the system as a cohesive individual. The machine maps you into a multidimensional Euclidean feature space, breaking your identity into isolated vectors. It groups your scrolling habits, affective vulnerabilities, and biological markers into independent clusters, calculating the most profitable predictive path. The philosopher Gilles Deleuze anticipated this ontological shift as society moved from enclosed disciplinary institutions to open digital networks. Deleuze argued that we are no longer individuals, indivisible cohesive units. We have become dividuals, physically divisible entities, decomposed into lump sums of habits, tastes, and aptitudes. This text from a paper on algorithmic subjectivity describes the exact technical reality. The platform does not perceive a person, it perceives a set of preference vectors. The dividual construct is the specific form in which we appear to the machine. Psychoanalysis defines the earliest stage of human development as the corpus morcellé, the terrifying experience of being a fragmented, uncoordinated body before recognizing oneself in a mirror. Vectorization forces a technical regression back to this exact state. This mathematical mapping reduces your living history into a static, cadaverous physicality of memory. Complex psychological dynamics are resolved as cold physics equations. A human subject cannot psychologically survive a direct encounter with the Lacanian real. If the platform exposed you to the sheer chaos of your raw vector data, it would trigger intense anxiety, the horror of the drive. To keep you engaged, the platform must conceal the dividual. It generates a polished, comprehensible facade standing between you and the algorithm. This is the avatar. The chaotic cloud of your fragmented data is enveloped by a unified digital profile, creating a clean, legible data double. In computer science, this is a surrogate explainer model, an intrinsically explainable interface applied over a complex black box system, giving the user a simplified mental model. In psychoanalytic terms, the avatar operates within the imaginary register. It acts as the Lacanian shining statue, the idealized specular image a child sees in the mirror that provides an illusion of wholeness. The avatar functions as a digital suture. It is a fetishistic mask that covers the gaping void of your internal fragmentation, offering a comforting mirage of totalized consistency. The polished digital profiles we obsess over are recognition bluffs. We cling to high-precision virtual images to escape the reality that the algorithm has dismantled us. The entire algorithmic architecture forms a closed loop. Raw behavior generates actomes, populating the latent space of dividual vectors, which update the avatar, directing your next behavior. Backpropagation continuously recalibrates models. The loop tightens. The machine systematically eliminates unpredictability. You undergo a process of chronic predictive overfitting. To maintain the comforting illusion of the avatar, you unconsciously align your future actions to satisfy the machine's predictive mask. This abstract explains the economic goal of this architecture. By colonizing the brain's neuroaffective seeking system, algorithms replace genuine desire with a loop of predatory anticipation designed to extract surplus enjoyment. This is algorithmic jouissance. The platform metabolizes human dissatisfaction. By capturing the repetitive circuit of your drives, it converts your raw, unconscious impulses into scalable predictive capital. Your capacity for internal hesitation is replaced by automated recursive anticipation. You are placed on autopilot within an acephalic machine designed solely to optimize the extraction of your attention. The human eye is left completely orphaned within its own vectorized digital inscriptions. The avatar does not represent you. It governs the specific conditions under which your subjectivity is allowed to occur. It replaces an autonomous, unwritten history with a strictly managed, probabilistic future.